Welcome back to the Avattack. I'm your host, Prescott Chambers. It's a battle to the bitter end in this regular season playoff matchup. This one was at home versus the Dallas Stars on Saturday, October 11th. I got to see EJ helping in the Altitude broadcast studio with the pregame show and also during intermissions and the postgame show. He was all over the place. It's cool getting to hear from him though. Cool getting to hear from the old Condor and hearing his side of the story. Getting to hear from a longtime Avalanche player in the altitude booth is always a treat. So I'm hoping he gets to kind of stick around doing that. Brent Burns, 1500th game. This was his 1500th game in the NHL. That's huge. He is only the 23rd player ever in the NHL to ever make it to 1500 games, and that's a pretty big feat in my opinion. He was drafted in 2003, which makes him old enough to have played with Joe Sakic in his rookie season, at least. He played with Minnesota in his first few seasons. Then he went to San Jose. Then he was with Carolina for quite some time. And just this last offseason, he signed with the Avalanche. So it's cool to see him get his 1500th game in a Avalanche sweater. Period one, goalies in this one were Jake Ottinger and Scott Wedgwood. Period one, we got some pretty high-paced action and competitive play with a lot of defense to start the first. At about 7:21, shots were only 2-1 in favor of the Avs. At around 7:47, there was this weird play that happened where the puck went out into the neutral zone, and then one of the Stars player, I forgot who it was, batted it back into the offensive zone, or into our defensive zone, and it went straight towards the corner end wall, and then bounced and beeline straight for the goal and went straight into the goal. Wedgwood was actually behind the net because he was trying to play the puck, but it was a really weird bounce. Luckily, it was called offsides, so that didn't count as a goal. Then at 8:19, Leon Bischel gets a hooking call. Avs go on a power play. We get some pretty quality chances, but the Stars are able to kill that one. Then at 11:40, Josh Manson gets a high sticking penalty and gives Dallas their first power play of the game. Up to this point, their shots on goal are 9-1 Avalanche now. Avs play a really good penalty kill against Dallas, and they only get 3 shots on net. At 14:22, Tom Harley gives us another power play after cross-checking Marty Necas. A couple close chances on this one, but the Avs can't seem to capitalize as much as they should have been able to on this power play. After a bit of chaos in the zone, it was really on a zone entry and a fumbled defensive play. It wasn't very pretty on the defensive side for the Avs. That gives the fourth line a chance. That was our fourth line defense that just wasn't looking great. At 19 minutes into the first period, Tom Harley snipes one with an assist from old Mikko Rantanen and Niels Lundqvist. The score at the end of one is 1-0 Stars. Period 2 starts much faster than the first. Rantanen gets a high sticking. No score on that power play. Then at 3:54, the Avs tie it at 1 with a goal from Martin Necas with a beautiful assist from Nathan McKinnon and Sam Malinsky. Then at 4:41, we get a fight between Ross Colton and Justin Haikauinen. Brother, I don't know how to pronounce that last name. If you want to help me with that, you feel free to give me a call. They get in a little scuffle, though, after Roscoe lays a pretty big hit on Miro Heiskanen, which was borderline boarding. But, we love to see some physical play. Ross Colton lays 3 pretty solid hits on Haikauinen. I'm not completely sure that's how you say it, but that's how I'm going to say it. And takes one quick hit and loses his balance, and they both fall to the ground pretty hard. At 6:18, after an icing call, Hintz pokes the bear of Cale Makar, who shows him he doesn't take no crap. It wasn't really anything. They were just skating towards the puck to get it for an icing call, and they just kind of got tangled up, and Makar got just pissed off. I think everyone was a little pissed off by this point. Everyone was just feeling the aggression. It was getting really exciting, that's for sure. The intensity was almost tangible between these two teams at this point, so I knew it was going to be a really fun game, though. At 10:07, Gavin Brindley scores his very first NHL goal, which was extremely exciting to see. It was a beautiful net front feed from Victor Olofsson. Just a last-second tap to the slot for Gavin Brindley, who was standing right in front. And he was able to slam it into the back of the net with the second assist coming from Jack Drury. The crowd went absolutely nuts for Gavin Brindley there, and that was awesome to hear. Following that, it's 2-1 Colorado. At 11:13, Cale Makar has to go to the box for tripping. Josh Manson with an incredible street hockey save on the PK to rob a sure goal from Jason Robertson. Then after a press from Dallas at 15:22, Nathan Bastian? It was Nathan Bastian stuffs one in off a pass from Esa Lindell and a second assist from Miro Heiskanen. Score is now tied at 2. Then after an icing call at 18:25, Tom Harley lets one fly from the blue line right off the puck drop, basically towards the net, where Robertson redirects it in with the second assist coming from Ilya Lyubushkin. Once again, we go to intermission down by 1 with a score of 3-2 Stars. Avs kept having defensive slip-ups that were costing them goals, and it was just kind of sloppy at certain points. It wasn't that good looking. I mean, they were good looking in their power plays. They just couldn't really get anything on them. But that's that. During the commercial break for this intermission, we actually got to see a possible hint at a new jersey. I've been hearing a lot about a new Avs jersey possibly coming out, and I'm hearing it's going to be possibly a Nordiques throwback, like all blue with the classic red logo. I also did see a Facebook post the other day from the Avs that said new practice setup or new practice gear, something along the lines of that. But there was a bunch of pictures saw a lot of Nordiques logos, so it's possibly coming soon. I'm excited about that. I am, because I will definitely be getting one once I see the drop. Period 3, 34 seconds into the third, Marty Necas gets the puck to McKinnon, who makes a quick slot feed to Arturi Lankinen to tie it at 3-3. And then only about a minute and a half later, Wyatt Johnston gets a breakaway off some more ugly Avs play and scores one to make it 4-3 Dallas. By this point, Wedgwood isn't really looking like he did in the game against Utah. He is sitting with 4 goals against on 13 shots so far up to this point. So our defense wasn't really looking that great either, though. So Avs were taking a lot of icing calls in this period. At 12:22, Yoel Kiviranta draws a double minor on a high sticking call, giving Colorado a 4-minute power play. He drew a little blood from the lip, I think, so maybe he bit the lip. Either way, I'll take it. Avs seem. I felt like we really, on this double minor, we really had to score, because by this point we were 0 for 3 on the power play. And yeah, I was just feeling like this had to be the chance. Avs seemed a little bit careless with their passing and just kind of out of sync for the first couple minutes of this power play. Up until about 3 minutes into it, the Nate Dogg wrist one in top shelf, with assists coming from Marty Necas and Brent Burns, making it 4-4 Avalanche, or making it a 4-4 tie. The Avalanche start to turn up the pressure after that goal. That gives McKinnon his 99th career 3+ point game, with his parents in the building, mind you. That was cool. It's cool. Always cool to see the parents come through for games. I know they have to. I'm sure they live in Cole Harbour or somewhere in Canada, so it's great to see them come down to Colorado and get to see a home game with their son. Avs start to have some ugly and pretty dangerous turnovers. Ottinger makes a really flashy, sprawling glove save on Jack Drury, then another one on Necas. Ottinger just looking like an absolute beast in this last period. And throughout the whole game, honestly. It gets absolutely insanely intense in the last 3 minutes of the game, but we end the third period with a 4-4 tie, and we go into 3-on-3 overtime for the first time this season against the Dallas Stars. OT starts pretty strong for the Avs. They control the puck pretty well for the first about minute and a half. Dallas has a couple opportunities. Then Nelson comes flying behind the net and tries to get a backhand wraparound at around 2:41 into the overtime. Necas has another really great look, but Ottinger once again makes a really fantastic save. And we get no goals in OT, and we're forced into a shootout, which is not what I wanted at all between Ottinger and Wedgwood. Ottinger is undoubtedly a better goaltender than Scott Wedgwood is. He is a starter, a full-time NHL starting goaltender, and Scott Wedgwood is a career backup, if we're being honest. A very good career backup, but a career backup. For the shootout, first is Dallas, of course, and they send out Jason Robertson, who goes left to right and snaps it right past Wedgie for one. First for Colorado is Victor Olofsson, who isn't able to get it past Ottinger. Second for Dallas, I was kind of confused why he sent out Olofsson first. I heard him in the Bednar in the post-game interview saying that he has pretty good stats in shootouts over his career, so that's why he did it. I know Bednar is kind of a stats nerd, and he likes numbers, and when he sees good numbers, he will try it. But Olofsson not able to solve Ottinger on that one. Second for Dallas is Matt Duchene, who Wedgwood makes the save on. Second for the Avs is Valeri Nichushkin, who is able to sneak one past Ottinger to keep them in it. Of course, I feel like Nichushkin's always a stand-up guy when it comes to the power play, and also overtime. He seems to score a lot of overtime goals, so I wasn't too surprised to see him put one past old Jakey. Third for the Stars is who else but Mikko Rantanen, who effortlessly wrists one into the back of the net for a second one for the Dallas Stars. Third for Colorado is Nathan McKinnon, who is unfortunately unable to score one, and your final score in the shootout is 5-4 Dallas. Overall, this one truly felt like a playoff game, which I had a feeling it would following last season's playoff exit. I knew we were going to push hard to try to beat the Stars, and to no avail once again, because Rantanen continues to be the bane of this team's existence, at least since the trade. Really since the start of playoffs, since that first round. We actually beat them in a regular season game, but then once playoffs hit, they turned it up a notch, and it seems like they're still on that level. They are a hungry team, without a doubt. Avs looked really decent in this game, but they did have a few bad turnovers and some kind of sloppy defense that led to some goals that turned the tide of the game. Otherwise, they looked all right. I'd say they had some really good opportunities, and they fought till the end, which I will always commend them for. I feel like they're really close to figuring out this Dallas team, though. I really do. I think we see Trent Miner in net for the next one against the Sabres. Wedgwood finished with 18 saves on 22 shots and an .818 save percentage, so not great. He could probably use a little break. He's probably a little tired. I'm not used to playing so many games in a row. I haven't really heard anything yet about when Blackwood may be returning, but I am definitely looking forward to that. The next game is on Monday, October 13th at 10:30 a.m. for some god-awful reason. I'm not completely sure why. This one will be against the Sabres in Buffalo, New York. So until then, as always, I am your host, Prescott Chambers, for the Av Attack. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.